Dallas Icon once again. Another Royal Rumble is in the books. Sweet mother of pearl. That was a no. The show started at 5 o'clock. I've been sitting in the same spot since 5 o'clock. A couple of bathroom breaks, and it's basically midnight. So the show went from 5 p.m. to midnight. So that's like what, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It was a 7-hour show. It was good. The show was good. It had its highs, it had its lows, and it had its usual predictability. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the stuff that didn't matter. So let's just hurry up and plus it's late too. Like I gotta go to work in the morning. But let's get through it. So let's just start this. Right out the gate, they did a impromptu tag team match. I kind of missed the conversation of what went on, but it was something that it had to do with one of the members of AOP got injured, and therefore first of all, I didn't know Chad and Bobby Roode were even going to defend the tag team titles, but because one of the members of AOP got injured, Drake Maverick said that he got one of the guys from the Revival to take his place, and it ended up being a Revival member and an AOP member versus Roode and Gable. It was really weird because of the odd pairing. I mean, it wasn't a surprise that they weren't going to win. So Chad and Bobby Roode retain the tag team championships, and hopefully they get actual competition, going forward. The Fatal 4-Way Cruiserweight Championship match. It was Hideo Itami, Kalisto, Buddy Murphy, and I forget who the fourth person was. But it was and it was a cruiserweight match. Like, the cruiserweight stuff is always good, high flying action. But Buddy Murphy retained the cruiserweight championship for all those who are fans of 205 Live. I had my money on Hideo Itami, but he didn't win, and Buddy Murphy's the champion. Rusev versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the third time now, the third or fourth time I think they've wrestled now. The two of them always put on good shows too. Lana was there. Towards the end of the match, they had a spot where Lana was on the apron, and she was basically yelling at Shinsuke Nakamura because Shinsuke was flat out cheating, and she was trying to get the referee's attention, for the referee to notice it. And Shinsuke started yelling at her. The two of them were screaming at each other. Rusev tried to sneak him from behind. Nakamura moved, and Nakamura knocked Lana off the apron. Lana fell on the floor, and she twisted her ankle. She hurt her ankle. Because of that distraction, Nakamura got the Kinshasa in the back of the head, and Nakamura is the new United States champion. More on that later, because this all plays into the end of the show. They kicked off the show with Becky Lynch versus Asuka, which I thought was strange. I thought they should have gone with the tag match. They went with Asuka and Becky Lynch, which was a good match, very hard hitting, a lot of back and forth between the two. And let's just get this out the way. Everybody knows, it's not a secret. Everybody knows that Becky, Ronda Rousey, Charlotte are all going to be involved some way at WrestleMania. So we all know the ending. The question was, how are we going to get there? What's going to happen? How are we going to get to the ending? So, to my surprise, towards the end of the match, Becky Lynch actually tapped out to Asuka, and Asuka retained the SmackDown Women's Championship, which was weird because I'm just like, all right, well, Becky doesn't have the belt now, so she's free to face Ronda. But she can't face Ronda because she's not in the Rumble. So unless she gets into the Elimination Chamber, I don't know where they're going to go from here. But we all know it's going to be Becky versus Ronda. So let's just see how we get there. Moving right along, they then did the tag team match, Shane McMahon and The Miz versus The Bar, and the match was okay. It started out, Shane McMahon and Miz had matching baseball jerseys, which was cool. And then for the first time I think I've ever seen it, Shane McMahon finally hit that damn shooting star press, and Shane and The Miz are the new SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. Honestly, I don't care. And the reason why I don't care about them being tag team champions is because we all know this feud is going to end with the two of them having a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. So they're probably going to lose the titles at Fastlane, or they're going to lose them on a random SmackDown. But Shane's a good dude, and I am a fan of Shane McMahon. So whenever I get to see Shane McMahon do some cool shit, it's good. But as far as the storyline's concerned, I kind of wish that the Miz would have screwed him over, so we can just get this thing over with already, and just because we know what the end result's gonna be at WrestleMania. We did Ronda Rousey versus Sasha Banks, which was a good match. Sasha Banks during the match, she bust out, she stole some moves from Pete Dunne. She had she did a couple of armbar moves where she was twisting the fingers of Ronda Rousey. She was biting her fingers at one point, stepping on her hand. Sasha came to play. It was it was definitely a good performance on her part, I thought. But unfortunately, I mean, again, this is another one of those matches where I'm a fan of Sasha Banks. I know a lot of people are fans of Sasha Banks. We're happy that she got the match and she got the spotlight, but we all know she's not going to win. And that's exactly what happened. With the Piper's Pit, Ronda Rousey gets the victory, and she moves on to retain the Raw Women's Championship. And these two women literally beat the hell out of each other, which was kind of cool to see, because you rarely get to see that in a women's match. When it was over, Sasha kind of like walked down the ramp, and then she came back. She didn't quite leave. She came back. She spoke to Ronda. Ronda immediately tried to be friends with Sasha after the match was over, and Sasha looked like she wasn't trying to hear it. But they did shake hands. Sasha threw up the Four Horsemen sign at Ronda. She said something to her, so who knows? Maybe they were talking about, she was like, hey, how about your group versus my group? Which is pretty much like the road we could be going down, because again, we're about to get, we're pretty much going to get Becky versus Ronda, so you might as well bring in the rest of the gang, which I guess will be kind of weird since Becky and Charlotte aren't even friends, but we'll see how that goes. They actually did the women's Royal Rumble after that, and so I was surprised. I mean, because the women main evented last year, but this time they didn't do it. So, I wrote down some of them just want to quickly go through, in case anybody was wondering. So Lacey Evans came in at number 1 for the Women's Royal Rumble, and they actually gave her the microphone to say something, which I thought was nice. Out of all the NXT people that got called up, Lacey Evans has actually been given the most to do besides Nikki Cross, so it's clear that they actually want to do stuff with Lacey Evans when she becomes official, and because of how she's been portrayed, she's going to end up on the Raw roster, because the majority of the stuff that she's doing is Raw related. She's not really doing anything SmackDown related. So when they finally make the decision either way, my prediction is that she'll be a Raw person. But Lacey Evans came in at number 1. Natalya came in at number 2. Mandy Rose came in at number 3. Liv Morgan came in at number 4, and when Liv Morgan came in, she immediately got tossed, so Liv Morgan was the first person to be eliminated. Mickie James came in at 5, and sweet God, this woman's body is amazing. When Mickie comes out, the fans should be chanting, "You still got it," and I ain't talking about your wrestling. But unfortunately, she was the second person eliminated, and she came in at number 5. Ember Moon came in at number 6. Billie Kay came in at 7, and Billie Kay was pretty funny, because when she came out, she refused to get into the ring until Peyton Royce showed up, which was kind of smart. It's like, why would you go in, without your partner? Nikki Cross came in at number 8, and then she actually like punched on Billie Kay in the face, and Billie Kay eventually got in. Billie Kay was actually the 4th person to be eliminated. Number 9 was Peyton Royce. And after Billie Kay was getting beat up by Nikki Cross, Peyton Royce came in at number 9. She helped her out. Nikki Cross got eliminated at 3. Billie Kay got eliminated at 4, and then Peyton Royce got eliminated at 5. Number 10 was Tamina. Number 11 was Xia Li, and Xia Li from NXT, the Chinese, one of the Chinese girls that they brought over. She was in both Mae Young Classics. She's the pretty girl who always wears red and has the short haircut. I mean, she's one of my low-key favorites in NXT. I mean, I kind of fell in love with the girl the first time I saw her on the Mae Young Classic, and it was actually really cool to see her in the Royal Rumble, because like I said, she's one of the few people that when she finally starts getting the engine running and they actually have her do stuff on NXT, I'm gonna be behind her 100%. Unfortunately, she came in at 11. She got eliminated at 6. Tamina, she was the 7th person eliminated, and then Sarah Logan, she came in at 12, and then she was the 8th person eliminated. And this brought in Charlotte Flair at number 13. Charlotte Flair came in and basically was going after everybody because she she was just like, look, I'm here to win this shit and I don't give a damn what nobody say. Number 14 was Kairi Sane from NXT. 15 was Maria, showcasing the greatest love of all. And the outfit that Maria was wearing, I'm like, y'all let her actually come out wearing that? I'm not going to complain. Naomi came in at 16, and as soon as Naomi came in, Mandy Rose got eliminated at 9. But unfortunately, after Naomi eliminated Mandy Rose was hating, and she because Naomi was on the apron. You know, Naomi did a spot where like she kind of got eliminated. Well, she eliminated Mandy Rose, and then when she fell off, and then I think Mandy Rose pulled her off the apron, or somebody knocked her off the apron. Naomi managed to get to the barricade. Like, she wasn't eliminated yet, and you know, she got to the barricade and she pulled herself up on the barricade. She tightrope walked the barricade, and she jumped from the barricade to the steps, and then right before she was about to get back into the ring, Mandy Rose came hating, and Mandy Rose yanked her onto the floor. The two of them started brawling outside, so Naomi was unfortunately the 10th person who was eliminated, and she came in at 16. The 17th person was Candice LeRae, wife of Johnny Gargano. I didn't really care. I'm not a fan of Candice LeRae, so it is what it is. I mean, you knew that there were going to be 7 NXT, either there were going to be 7 NXT girls, or it was going to be a mixture of old wrestlers and NXT girls, only because if you actually count the women's roster, like the Raw and SmackDown women's roster, the active women's roster, they only have 23 girls. And again, not including Sasha, Ronda, Becky, or Asuka, because they were all in the championship matches. And even if we did count them, they'd only have 27 girls. The WWE actually doesn't have enough women to pull off a 30-women Rumble, so you knew there'd be some NXT girls in. So Candice LeRae came in at 17. The 18th person was Alicia Fox. And it was cool to see Alicia Fox in the ring because she didn't get a chance to be in the Women's Rumble last year because she was injured. So to see her come in, this year was actually pretty nice. And she got 18, which was a pretty high number. Lacey Evans finally got tossed she was the 11th person to get tossed. Maria got tossed at 12, and then unfortunately Alicia Fox she was the 13th person eliminated. Casey from NXT came in at 19. I can't pronounce her last name because it has like 39 characters in it, but Casey, she's the little girl. She's like 4'11", 4'10" or something. She's the real small girl. She was on American Ninja Warrior. She came in and she actually did a cool spot too, where she got thrown out, and then she ended up her feet didn't touch the floor. She popped up Kofi Kingston style and did a handstand, and she walked over to the ring post. She wrapped her legs around the ring post, and then like workout crunch mode, she basically did like a sit-up with her legs wrapped around the ring pole. She did a sit-up and basically pulled herself up to get back in the ring, which is that was actually a pretty cool spot. I can't even front. She was the 19th person. Alicia Fox was the 13th person eliminated. Candice LeRae was the 14th person eliminated. Kairi Sane was the 15th person tossed. And then, unfortunately, Casey, who had just came in and did that cool spot, she got tossed at 16. Number 20 was Selena Vega, and she gets props for best creativity because Selena Vega came out actually dressed like Vega from Street Fighter. She had the Vega mask on and she even had a claw. But the funny thing about Selena Vega is when she came in, she actually hid under the ring for like a good 15 minutes. She refused to fight. She basically it was funny because she would poke her head out every now and then just to see what was going on. But she was there for a while. She came in at 20. Ruby Riott was 21. Dana Brooke was 22. But when Ruby Riott came in, the funny thing is she came back with the Riott Squad, and when the Riott Squad came in, they were basically just yanking people out of the ring, just beating their ass. Like somebody got close to the ropes, they yanked him out, beat the crap out of him, tossed him back in, and then Ruby would throw him over the top rope. And I'm just like, how y'all letting this slide? Like they're basically like ganging up on everybody. Dana Brooke came in at 22, and she was the 17th person who was eliminated. eliminated. Selena Vega, who was hiding under the ring, she poked her head out at one point, and then Hornswoggle poked his head out. So a nice Hornswoggle return. When Selena Vega saw Hornswoggle poke his head out, she got scared and ran, and then she ran back in the ring, and then Selena Vega got tossed, and then Hornswoggle chased her down the aisle. Vega was the 18th person who was eliminated. There was a point where the Riot Squad was beat. When Kairi Sane got eliminated, the Riot Squad basically wasn't finished with her. The Riot Squad started like beating her ass, and the Riot Squad like 3-on-1 was jumping Kairi Sane, which brought out Io Shirai, her best friend from NXT. Io came in, did a moonsault off the top rope, the look like swan action. She came in and then she got in the ring and then she did a little damage for a little bit. Rhea Ripley, the former NXT UK Women's Champion, she came in at 24. Sonya Deville came in at 25, and she was the 19th person who was eliminated, followed by Ruby Riott, who was the 20th person eliminated, and Rhea Ripley was the 21st person eliminated. Io Shirai got eliminated at 22. Natty, who was in the ring this entire time, finally got eliminated at 23. Ember Moon finally got tossed. She was the 24th person who was eliminated. The 26th entrant in the Royal Rumble was Alexa Bliss, and Alexa Bliss was the 25th person who was eliminated. The 27th entry in the Royal Rumble was Bayley, which I thought was pretty funny because Bayley came in at 27 and Bayley was the 27th person who was eliminated. Now, here's where things get interesting. Lana was the 28th entrant, and as soon as Lana's theme music, because like I said before, we all know the end game is Becky versus Ronda. It was just a question of how are we going to get there. Up until this point, I forgot all about Lana hurting her ankle or whatever. As soon as Lana's theme music hit at 28, I immediately said to my brother who was sitting next to me, before I even saw Lana, as soon as Lana's music hit, I just said to my brother, Becky Lynch is going to take Lana's place. And Lana came out of the dugout, which was cool. They did do dugout because it took place in the Arizona Diamondbacks, because it took place in the baseball stadium. They had dugout entrances where all the wrestlers came out of the dugout, which was pretty cool. So as soon as Lana comes out of the dugout, she's wearing a sneaker and she has her ankle completely taped up. And then I was like, see, she's not going to be able to compete, and Becky's going to end up taking her place. But Lana was headed towards the ring, so I'm just like, in order for my prediction to come true, Lana can't actually enter the ring. So Lana took so long to get to the ring because of the bad ankle. Nia Jax came in at 29, and when Nia Jax came in and she walked past Lana, saw Lana limping, for no reason, Nia Jax just started beating the shit out of she just started beating the crap out of Lana, and then like the doctors came out and the trainers came out. Nia Jax got in the ring. Carmella was number 30. We all knew she was 30. And then, when the doctors were talking to Lana, here comes Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch said to Fit Finlay, he was like, hey, if she can't go, I'm going to go. And for whatever reason, I didn't know Fit Finlay had this much power. I didn't know Finlay had this stroke. Finlay let it slide. Becky got in the ring. Nia Jax was eliminated at 28. Well, Carmella got eliminated at 26. Carmella was eliminated at 26. Bayley was eliminated at 27. Nia Jax was eliminated at 28, which came down to Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. When Nia Jax got eliminated, she actually started beating up Becky Lynch, who was on the floor. She kind of like damaged her leg a little bit. The referees were about to disqualify Becky because, she basically just ended up like Lana. But Becky jumped back into the ring and she was like, no, I can go, put me in, I can go. Her and Charlotte went after it. They went for it. And it ended up with both of them being on the apron. Becky got the best of Charlotte this night. Charlotte was the 29th person eliminated, and no surprise, Becky Lynch wins the Royal Rumble, and she's going on to WrestleMania, and we all know she's going to challenge Ronda Rousey. The big question is whether or not they're going to keep it a one-on-one, or is Charlotte going to find a way to weasel her way into the match and make it a triple threat? Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles. And towards the end of the match, Eric Rowan, of all people, showed up and assisted Daniel Bryan beating up on AJ Styles, and he helped Daniel Bryan get the victory. Aside from both of them having beards, I don't know why there's an alliance between Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. I mean, if Eric Rowan went vegan, I don't know about it, but it's interesting enough to where I just want to know, like, where's Harper and why is Eric Rowan teaming with Daniel Bryan? But Daniel Bryan retained, and he still is the WWE champion. Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor. No surprise. Finn Balor got his ass whooped. He had some good offense. There was a spot where he pushed Brock Lesnar into the announcer's table, and Brock Lesnar, his stomach hit the corner of of the table. So they kind of tried to sell that a little bit, like play that off a little bit. But yeah, like the match wasn't long. He went for the coup de grace, and Lesnar countered it into the armbar. He broke his arm. Finn Balor tapped out like a bitch, and Brock Lesnar is still the Universal Champion. That brings us to the men's Royal Rumble. And this is pretty interesting because the first person in the men's Royal Rumble was Elias. Number 2 was Jeff Jarrett. The two of them teased that they were going to do like a little concert, and then right before the concert started, Elias turned on him. Nakamura came in at 3, so Jeff was the first person eliminated. Nakamura came in at number 3. Kurt Angle came in at number 4, and he was the second person eliminated. Big E came in at 5, and this was kind of nasty because when Big E came down the ring, he was pulling pancakes like out of his underwear and giving it to fans, and I'm pretty sure some of those fans ate those pancakes. That's some nasty shit. Anyway, Johnny Gargano from NXT, he was number 6. I mean, his wife was in the Women's Rumble, so why would Johnny not be in it? He was number 6. Jinder Mahal came in at number 7. He was the 3rd person eliminated. Big E was the 4th person eliminated. Elias was the 5th person eliminated. Samoa Joe came in at number 8. Kurt Hawkins came in at number 9. Seth Rollins was number 10. Titus O'Neil was number 11. Titus O'Neil actually did run down to the ring, and right before he got to the ring, he put on the brakes because he didn't want to have another slide incident. Kofi Kingston came in at number 12, and that was a little disappointing because Kofi did this one spot where he got thrown out. His feet didn't touch the floor. He put his feet onto the apron, and he basically rolled himself over to the steps. And that was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool spot. Mustafa Ali comes in at number 13. Dean Ambrose comes in at 14. No Way Jose comes in at 15. And he immediately got tossed out. No Way Jose was the 10th person eliminated. And he bumped into Drew McIntyre, who came out at 16. And Drew McIntyre kind of looked at No Way Jose like, Drew McIntyre, he don't play that shit. Like, he doesn't like the jokes in wrestling. So he basically smacked up No Way Jose. Xavier Woods comes in at 17. Kofi Kingston gets thrown out again. He basically sits on Woods' back, and Woods walked him over to to the ring, and Kofi got back in the ring. It's just honestly, I'm more at this point. I don't really care about Kofi's high spots. It's like, bro, like just win the damn thing for once, because especially like the women are starting to do things now, to save themselves from being eliminated from the Rumble. So it's kind of like. It's over. Like the whole thing is like I'll be very like Kofi getting catapulted into the ring was probably the last best thing he'll do. He needs to actually win this thing and go to WrestleMania for a change. Pete Dunne from NXT, he was the 18th person. Andrade was 19. Apollo Crews was 20. Aleister Black came in at number 21, which was a surprise. Shelton Benjamin at 22. Baron Corbin was 23. Jeff Hardy 24. Rey Mysterio 25. Bobby Lashley came in at 26, and it was kind of disappointing because as soon as he came in, he immediately got tossed by Seth Rollins. But Bobby Lashley did proceed to beat the living hell out of Seth Rollins, and he spine busted Seth Rollins onto the announcer's table, and Seth Rollins was basically laid out for the next 20 minutes. So it already told you where this one was going. Braun Strowman came in at 27. Dolph Ziggler was 28. Randy Orton was 29. And at number 30, we all knew it was R-Truth, or at least we thought. And just like Lana not being able to compete in her match, Nia Jax, of all people, comes out of the dugout, beats the living hell out of R-Truth, and took R-Truth's spot in the men's Royal Rumble of all things. And it was pretty funny because she did eliminate Mustafa Ali, but everybody was kind of like uncomfortable about it because, you know, she's a woman, and everybody was just like, well, I don't want to be the guy that beats a woman. But there was one person in the ring who shitted on the whole Me Too movement and didn't give a damn who was in the ring, and that was Randy Orton. He RKO'd the bejesus out of Nia Jax. She took a 619. She took a super kick from Dolph Ziggler, and then, you know, she eventually got tossed, and Randy Orton didn't give two F's about beating on a chick to win the Royal Rumble. So just to run down, so again, Jeff Jarrett was so as far as like the people who was tossed, Jeff Jarrett was 1, Kurt Angle was 2, Jinder Mahal was 3, Big E was 4. The 5th person eliminated was Elias. The 6th person eliminated was Titus O'Neil. The 7th person eliminated was Kurt Hawkins. The 8th person was Shinsuke Nakamura. The 9th person eliminated was Johnny Gargano. The 10th person eliminated was No Way Jose. Xavier Woods was tossed out at 11. Kofi Kingston was 12. Dean Ambrose was 13. Samoa Joe was 14. 15 was Apollo Crews. 16 Aleister Black. 17 Pete Dunne. 18 Bobby Lashley. Baron Corbin was 19. The 20th person eliminated was Shelton Benjamin. Jeff Hardy was 21. 22 was Drew McIntyre. 23 was Mustafa Ali. 24 was Nia Jax. 25 was Rey Mysterio. 26 was Randy Orton. 27 was Andrade. 28 was Dolph Ziggler, which brought it to Braun Strowman versus Seth Rollins. And with the stomp to Braun Strowman on the apron, Braun Strowman is the 29th person eliminated, and Seth Rollins is the Royal Rumble winner, and he will be going on to WrestleMania to obviously face Brock Lesnar. So my overall thoughts, again, from what I saw, it was a good show. The wrestling on the show was good. There was a whole lot of predictability on the show, which did take away some points for it. But, you know, they did give us some surprises. I was a little disappointed by not having the Velveteen Dream, but I mean, overall, I'd give the show a solid 7.5. Again, because, you know, yes, it was a good show, it was good wrestling, but it's just like the predictability kills it. And then when you got guys like Bobby Lashley who get eliminated in like a half a second, it's just like it kind of like kills the whole thing, you know. And then like disappointment with like Kofi's performance and everything. So you just wanted more from certain things. But I would say that the Women's Rumble was better than the Men's Rumble, to be honest with you. And yeah, so Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins are your Royal Rumble winners. So we are headed for the road to WrestleMania. So that's about it, guys. It's going up on 30 minutes here. It was good. You know, the show was good. Like I said, I give it a solid 7.5. I'll be reviewing some more stuff going forward. I'm looking forward to Elimination Chamber to decide the first ever women's tag team champions. So keep it locked here. Stay tuned. And until next time, as always, I'm out this bitch.